Welcome back to the Entertainment Files. Well, we're very excited today. Our guest is one of the top magicians in the world. You will see him on television. He's got a fabulous show here in Las Vegas at the Monte Carlo. Ladies and gentlemen, Lance Burton.
Hey, how you doing,
Lance?
Nick, Sean?
What a
good
pleasure.
to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for that great intro.
Well, it's
I'm looking
true.
around going, are they? Who else is on the show?
You've heard this before, because I think of all the people in magic who have really made it big, I can't think of anyone who has got the public support amongst magicians that you have. People have just followed your career from the first. It's been very exciting to see such nice things happen to such a nice guy, and I think I speak for every magician.
Well, I've always, loved hanging out with magicians. I mean, most of my friends are magicians or comedians, and so I just sort of came up through the ranks in the magic world.
Well, you did. Now, we got to tell some people out there. They want to know a bit about you. Where were you born? You were born in
Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville, Kentucky. So.
Or Louisville, if you live there.
Louisville.
Yeah,
that's
if
good.
you live there, it's one syllable. Louisville.
Oh, this is good. I'm learning some Southern now.
It was named after King Louis XVI of France, so the proper, I guess, pronunciation is Louisville. But you can tell if someone is really a hillbilly, a real hick, down in the southern part of Kentucky, they say Louisville.
Oh.
That's how you can tell. Yeah.
There you go. Now, see, I'm primed for this now.
Trivia doesn't stop.
And so that's what. Now, was there a magic store there?
Yes, you know what? There was a magic shop there in Louisville, still there, called Caulfield's Novelties, and I remember going there when I was a kid. My mom took me down there and bought the little magic tricks, and then I worked there as a demonstrator when I was about 18 years old, as did Mac King.
That's right. We're talking to Mac on our radio show.
He had all good things to say.
He did. He told us about the Mac and Lance show.
Yes, the Mac and Lance show.
You used to just hang out with him because he was a chick magnet, wasn't he?
He was.
That's kind of what he told us. He said,
exactly.
And you did a show at amusement parks, didn't you?
We had a summer job at a little place called Tombstone Junction down at Cumberland Falls, Kentucky, and it was one of these Western theme towns. It was they had gunfights in the streets, and they had country music shows, and they had a train, a real steam locomotive, and then in the saloon we had our magic show, and we did that 3 times a day, 7 days a week, all summer long.
That's and you did every magician did almost the things you were saying. Maybe this is why that solid support. I mean, I worked in the magic store, and this is the way you really hone that craft. But what made it first magic for you? When was the moment when you suddenly said, I have to be a magician?
Oh, well, the first time I saw a magician was very young. I was 5 years old, and it was a Christmas party. My mother worked at the Frito-Lay plant in Louisville, making potato chips, and they had their employees' Christmas party. And there was a fellow there that did magic. His name was Harry Collins. He was a very fine magician, and he did a magic show, for the Christmas party. And I was the little boy that volunteered to go up on stage, and he did the Miser's Dream, which, as you know, is a classic of magic. It's where you pull silver dollars out from behind the little kid's ear and under his elbow, and this keeps going on and on. And I was amazed, I'd never seen a magician before, and I didn't really understand at that time that it was a sleight of hand trick. I really thought I had money hidden all over my body, and that's what got me hooked on magic.
And it was the combination, the trick. Was that your first time on stage?
Yes, that was the first time.
Excitement of being on stage.
Getting up on stage and hearing the audience laugh, but just being able to see the magic up close had a really big impact on me. And I went home and I want to be a magician now, but I didn't know how to start, so I just tried to make up my own tricks, and they were, weren't very good. But my interest in magic continued, and finally, one day, the lady that lived next door to us, her children were grown, but she found the little magic book that one of her sons had when he was a boy, and it was Magic Made Easy, and it had 10 tricks in it, and she gave this to me. So now I had a book that explained how to do these tricks, the
You had
secrets.
10 tricks. You had an act.
And I had an act,
That's
exactly.
right.
So I learned the 10 tricks, and I started doing shows for my family.
Did the early influences, did they help your kind of image, your style, you think of Lance Burton, you think traditional, classical?
You know, really, you don't realize how things from your childhood affect you throughout your life. But Harry Collins was the first magician I ever saw. He was a very, very fine magician, very traditional, wore the tails and the bow tie, and was really you know, what you would think of when you think of a magician, very elegant, and that sort of influenced my image of what a magician was supposed to be. And then, you know, in the 70s, Doug Henning became very popular. And Doug, of course, went totally the opposite direction. He had the long hair and the rainbow-colored shirts and the tennis shoes and the whole, you know, sort of 1960s hippie, flower child aura about him. And what happened was all the other magicians started imitating Doug Henning. Everyone wanted to be Doug Henning. So I was a teenager at that point, and then I thought, you know, if everyone else is sort of going in that direction, sort of following the Doug Henning style, I'll make a really conscious decision to go towards the traditional magician in the tails and classical music.
And the classical music,
and I'll
of course,
be different.
That was such an amazing impact. And you had a lot of magic contests, didn't you? That was, in fact, we should talk. We've got a clip, I believe. You're working now with Kellogg's, and they have a contest.
Yes, we're
very interesting.
We're sponsoring a contest. This is Kellogg's is introducing a new Rice Krispies called Razzle Dazzle Rice Krispies, and we're having a nationwide search to find the best young magician in the country, ages 6 through 12.
That's great.
The finals will be held in Las Vegas on November 21st, and all the 6 finalists will all be flown to Las Vegas with their families, and they all get a $250 gift, not a gift certificate, a savings bond, and the winner gets a $500 savings bond. So it's real exciting to get the kids involved.
We've got a clip. Let's look at that clip.